Hi guys, Giju64 here, and today I'm going to be talking about Batman 3 Jokers. And man, this was a surprise. I don't ever do comic book reviews. I think I've only talked about a comic book once on my channel, but as evident by the room, I really like comic books. You probably can't tell, but lining the floor around you is tons of comic book boxes. So this room is still being designed. I actually made this out of my former sets, so... But enough about that. Let's get into Batman 3 Jokers.
Geek. Truth. 64.
Geek.
Truth. 64.
Geek. True.
64.
Geek.
Truth.
Geek.
Truth. 64. Oh, shit.
Well, guys, I was surprised by this. That's why I'm doing a video. So, why was I surprised? Well, I don't get too many comic books anymore. Now, I've been collecting since I was a kid, so I have over 2,000 comic books, which is a lot of comic books. So, but in recent years, I haven't got that many, mainly because the new stuff just, I don't think it's very good. So, when I do get comics, it's back issues and older stuff. But every once in a while, I will get some new comic books. The only new comic run I currently get, I think that consistently is Boom's Power Rangers, because that's actually pretty good. Outside of that, I'll pick up some newer comics here or there based on what I might review or what might looks interesting. And what made me pick up this, beyond the fact that the art is amazing and is a callback to The Killing Joke right over there, Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns' name was on this. Now, Jeff Johns' been hit or miss, I guess, in some recent years. Doomsday Clock I thought was okay, but Jeff Johns, to me, is probably my favorite DC writer. He's in my top tier for sure. I love his run on Teen Titans. I love what he did with Flash Rebirth. I love what he did with Green Lantern Rebirth. And he also always has really good artists. So, and this is no exception. This was actually drawn by Jason Fabok, who I never even heard of. So he did a great job. The colorist was really good too. Who was the colorist on this? Brad Anderson. The colors are really great too. And the visuals of this comic book are a real callback to Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, which is a classic. So even, again, just the cover. I mean, if you compare these two, I mean, just look at that. So I'm not really going to get too spoiler heavy, I guess, in this, but, and I guess this is kind of more critique oriented than probably a lot of the reviews out there might be. But that's only because I've read so many comics, so I have a lot of thoughts on them. Now, for those who've never seen any of my videos, I am a movie guy. Movies are my thing. That's what I talk about here, and that is the thing I love the most. But that doesn't mean I don't like comics too, as evident by the room. But I am going to talk about a few panels in here and kind of generally what is going on in this. This is book 1, so book 2 will be coming. And if there's a good reaction to my review of the first video, I'll do a sequel. Or if the sequel book is any good and I want to talk about it, I might just do it anyway because I just do YouTube for fun. You know, I'm kind of like One Punch Man like that. I'm a hero for fun. I'm a YouTuber for fun. I'm so stupid. So our opening panels here, Batman just runs over his parents' graves. So yeah, that's a thing. And then the next thing he says is time heals all wounds if they don't kill you first. That's stupid, Batman. There's some awesome panels in here where you just see how much Batman is a collector. Batman collects more crap than I do. I mean, look around this room. He has more stuff than I do. So Alfred's working on Batman, and holy crap, Batman has a lot of scars.
You want to know how I got these scars?
And guess how he was stabbed this time? The Penguin stabbed him with an umbrella. Now, check this out. If Batman had a proper costume, you know, a bulletproof costume, these things wouldn't happen. The dude can design all kinds of things, and he can't design something to save him from an umbrella. I would say these other panels are really great. You get a flashback to like all the scars he's gotten over the years by all of his rogues gallery. Batman has one of the best rogues gallery. Arguably, I'd say Batman has the best rogues gallery. The only contender that's close to Batman's rogues gallery is Spider-Man's rogues gallery. So they're pretty comparable. I don't know. I'd say Batman has more, though. I think Batman's rogues gallery is probably the top tier one. Spider-Man's right behind it. And as you see, Scarecrow and Killer Croc and Catwoman and Riddler and Bane and all these people just messing him up and giving him all these scars over time. It's kind of cool, you know? Then he gets a little flashback, and this is one problem I had already initially into it, was that as we transition into this flashback, the color grading changes and they go into this grayscale with some red popping out, kind of like Schindler's List. But you don't really get a good transition, or the transition isn't very stark, because the panels before that in the Batcave are already really, really dark. So when he transitions into this flashback, you're like, oh, it's a flashback. Now, anybody who's ever read Batman knows this is a flashback, but that doesn't really preclude the fact that, you know, if you're going to do this kind of like stylistic take on this with the color grading, you may want to make the colors pop in the panels previously, so that way you can get the transition better. I don't know. I'm an idiot. What am I even talking about? The art's great. So we get to see Bruce's parents die. One thing you can count on in comics is you always get to see Bruce's parents die, and you always get to see Uncle Ben die. Those are two things you can count on in life. All right, and then we transition to Barbara Gordon, who is running on a track, and she is remembering when she got shot in The Killing Joke. And again, the art here is just great. It's great. This feels like a real sequel to The Killing Joke. It really does. And for those of you who've never read The Killing Joke, if you pick up this, read The Killing Joke. What are you doing? If you collect comics or read comics and you've never read The Killing Joke, you should do that. And don't count the animated movie. Now, half the animated movie's good, but that first half has nothing. Just read the comic. The comic is better than the animated movie. I swear. So then we transition into Red Hood, and we get him beating up some guys. And of course, he is flashing back to when he was killed by the Joker. Now, this was Death in the Family. So for those who don't know, back in the 80s, Jason Todd took over as Robin from Dick Grayson, and a lot of people really didn't like him that much. And so DC put this thing in their comics as like, hey, call in and decide the fate of Robin, decide if he lives or dies. And I guess everybody in the 80s just, I don't know, what they were messed up, and they're like, yeah, kill him. So they wrote a issue where the Joker killed Robin with a crowbar. Yeah. He was obviously brought back to life, but anyway, that's what he's flashing back to. And obviously that will scar you. And how he came back is a Lazarus pit, because that's how you bring everybody back in comics, or at least everybody in the Bat family back. Or if you're Green Arrow and you want to rip off all the Batman storylines in your own CW show, then you use the Lazarus pit too. Then we get like a good investigation. And again, I don't want to go too deep into what's going on here. I don't really want to go panel by panel, but what you really need to know at this point is that there's a bunch of Jokers. They're doing a bunch of things around town, and there's apparently more than one. There's multiples. And obviously Red Hood wants to take down Joker, Batgirl wants to take down Joker, and Batman wants to take down Joker. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the Red Hood, he's not a nice guy. Like, he'll beat up anybody. He doesn't really care. He's like basically Punisher. He's kind of like the Punisher, I guess, of the Bat family. He just doesn't care. He's like the ends justify the means and take out the bad guy. Again, really amazing art. Rocket Raccoon almost dies in this. I mean, it's just a random raccoon, but look at that. Doesn't that look like Rocket Raccoon? So at this point, I noticed something, and this is also another critique. This is a real one, not like the grayscale thing. All these panels, like the layout of these panels, are so boring. They're so generic. It's all just rectangles, rectangle boxes. There's no cool dynamic layout when it comes to these panels. And that's really the main critique I have of this comic, is that You have this amazing art, this cool story going on. Colors are great, everything. And the page layout just, I mean, it's all squares. I mean, look at this. It's squares. It's all just a bunch of squares. And that's how pretty much the whole comic is. The whole comic is squares. It's like, couldn't you come up with some more dynamic page layouts? Here, let me show you a couple that I can probably just find online and show to you guys. Just to give you guys an idea of a dynamic, cool page layout. I mean, look at how Todd McFarlane used to lay out Spider-Man back in the day. Like, I'm not saying you need that style because that doesn't necessarily fit the tone here. But do something other than squares. Come on, guys. There's a part where you get the 3 Jokers. I'm gonna, as far as plot things, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. But there's 3 Jokers. There's 3 different Jokers. One seemingly is the one who killed Jason Todd. One is the one who shot Barbara Gordon, and one, I guess, maybe is the main one. Or are there multiple ones? What's going on? I don't know. Maybe there is. You know, I don't know. I want to leave it up to you. I want you to get through it, and then you can let me know what you guys think. Because this is a recommended pickup, despite my complaining about the squares. If you collect comics, or even if you don't collect comics, go to the comic store. Support them. They are suffering a lot. And DC as well. I mean, DC just had massive layoffs. And, you know, the comic book industry is crashing. It's coming down. And, it's for a variety of things. It's not any one thing. But as I said to open up my video, I stopped getting comics because I think that their quality is downhill. I could literally do a whole video on why I stopped getting comics. And maybe if you guys are interested in comic books, I might do that. But or I might just do it for fun. As I said, I'm a YouTuber for fun. And that's also one of the things I like about this. This comic totes the line between being serious, like The Killing Joke, because Alan Moore is the epitome of serious. Not joking. I mean, but it takes that, but also gets some Jeff Johns fun in here. You get a clown shark. You get the Joker fish. The Joker fish are back. Remember from the animated series? You probably don't. Here's a picture. Yes, I remember these Joker fish. I love this episode of Batman the Animated Series. So yeah, again, I'm not going to get into the ending, but it leaves off where I'm really excited for issue number 2. And again, if you guys are interested in me reviewing issue 2, just let me know in the comments. Have you guys read this? Let me know what you think. Maybe try and avoid spoilers. I don't know. Maybe I just spoiled stuff. It's kind of hard to talk about a comic book without talking about spoilers. Normally, when I do reviews, it's pretty easy to avoid spoilers. Comic books, not so much. They're a lot shorter, and there's a lot less to talk about as opposed to a feature-length movie. But this is a recommend, and obviously it's good enough to where I decided to do my first ever comic book review in my comic book room. So, I don't know if I'll ever do a video in here again. But this was honestly a lot of fun. I like talking about this. So I'm going to do something similar to what I've done before. I've done this with one of my videos where I said if I got 50 likes, I'd give you, go through a collection video. I am not doing a comic book collection video. I have way too many comic books. But I'll give you a better idea of this room, I guess. Well, you've seen about half of it now, but I might go through and show you some of my main comics I have on display and some things if I get 50 likes on this video. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you, subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you to everyone who's checked out this video. And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geek True 64, and I'll always tell you the truth.